Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students, and a very warm welcome to lecture number 30 of the series. Dear students, in our today's lecture we are going to start poem number 5. The title of the poem is In the Street of the Fruit Stalls, which is written by John Stalworthy. And this is a very important poem. You must watch and listen to the explanation very carefully, and then please note it down in your neat English registers and copies. So let's get started with the first extract of the poem and its reference, context and explanation. Well, dear students, this slide carries the text of the poem. As you can see, the title of the poem is In the Street of the Fruit Stalls, and the name of the author is the name of the poet is John Stalworthy. It is a beautiful poem which gives pleasure to read as well. Therefore, I would like to read for you people. Please listen and read with me. Wicks balance flame, a dark dew falls in the street of the fruit stalls. Melon, guava, mandarin, pyramid piled like cannon balls. ये फ्रेज कैनन बॉल जो है इसकी एक खसूसी अहमियत है पोएम के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में. कैनन बॉल आपको पता है तोप के गोले को कहते हैं. पोएट के लिए ये बहुत आसान था कि वो किसी भी स्पोर्ट बॉल का इस्तेमाल कर सकता था. फुटबॉल का कर सकता था, टेनिस बॉल का कर सकता था, क्रिकेट बॉल का कर सकता था, हॉकी बॉल का कर सकता था, लेकिन उसने कैनन बॉल्स का किया. तो इसकी एक सिंबॉलिक सिग्निफिकेंस है, वो एक्सप्लेनेशन में आपके साथ डिस्कस की जाएगी, और ये इस पोएम का सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन भी है. ग्लो रेड हॉट कोल्ड हॉट फ्रॉम विद इन, डार्क चिल्ड्रन विद द कॉइन टू स्पेंड एंटर द लैंटर्न्स ऑर्बिट, फाइन मेलन गुआवा मैंडेरिन, द मून कंपैक्टेड टू अ रिंड किसी भी फ्रूट की आउटर हार्डर सरफेस को कहते हैं या स्किन को कहते हैं. द सन इन अ पिटेड स्किन, पिटेड मीन प्लेस्ड हार्ड सरफेस और स्किन. इसका मतलब ये है कि जब लालटेन की रोशनी उन पर पड़ती है रात के अंधेरे में, तो वो उनकी जो आउटर सरफेस है इस तरह से चमकती है जैसा कि चांद ने अपने आप को, चांद सिकुड़ गया और उसने अपने आप को किसी भी फ्रूट के सख्त छिलके के अंदर बिठा लिया हो, या फिर सूरज ने अपने आप को किसी फ्रूट की सख्त स्किन के अंदर जगह दे ली हो. दे टेक इट, ब्रेक इट ओपन, लेट अ गोल्ड और सिल्वर फाउंटेन वेट, माउथ, फिंगर, चीक्स, नोज, chin, radiant as lanterns. Now this actually shows man's ability to enjoy the lighter moments of life despite all odds, all difficulties and challenges. They forget the dark street I am standing in. And this is a very meaningful line and actually conveys the essence of the entire poem. पूरी पोएम का जो जिस्ट है, मेन आइडिया, वो इसी एक लाइन में है. They forget the dark street I am standing in. The poet, while standing at the one corner of the street, watches the poor children enjoy with the fruit of their choice, though they don't have a big amount of money to buy everything, yet they have got a coin with which they buy the fruit and relish it, eat it with relish. But the poet is unable to enjoy the scene, beautiful scene which he himself has described for us, whereas the children are enjoying. This is actually the main idea of the poem. We will discuss it in the explanation. Well, gentlemen, now we are going to take up the reference, context and explanation of extract number 1. You know it very well that reference is very, very important. If we want to get maximum marks in this question, we need to get our reference absolutely correct. The reference is always written in a single sentence, as it has been shared with you in the slide. You need to copy it in the same manner. These lines have been taken from the poem In the Street of the Fruit Stalls, written by John Stalworthy. आपको बहुत गौर से देखना पड़ेगा कि कैसे मैंने इन्वर्टेड कॉमास के अंदर पोएम का टाइटल लिखा हुआ है. पोएम का जो इनिशियल टाइटल का जो इनिशियल लेटर होता है, फर्स्ट वर्ड का पहला लेटर जो होता है वो ऑलवेज कैपिटल होगा, और इसके बाद आर्टिकल और प्रेपोजिशन और हेल्पिंग वर्ब, ये अगर टाइटल के बीच में आते हैं तो इनके इनिशियल स्मॉल रहेंगे, जबकि इसके अलावा एडवर्ब होगा, एडजेक्टिव होगा या नाउन होगा, वो कैपिटलाइज किए जाएंगे. रिटन बाय जॉन स्टालवर्दी, ये पोएट का नाम है. यही दो चीज़ें आपने सेंटेंस की सूरत में रेफरेंस में लिखनी है. देन कॉन्टेक्स्ट. कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो होता है वो पूरी पोएम का मेन आइडिया होता है, उसको सम अप करता है, बैकग्राउंड देता है किस बैकग्राउंड में पोएम लिखी गई है, और ये पूरी पोएम का सेम होता है, चाहे कोई भी स्टैंजा आ जाए पोएम में से या कोई भी लाइन आ जाए, कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो होता है वो सिर्फ एक ही बार लिखा जाता है और उसी को सभी लाइंस के लिए यूज़ किया जाता है. Anyhow, let's go through the context here. This is a symbolic poem which manifests man's basic instinct to enjoy the lighter moments of life even when he is pitched against the most grave situations. The poem is a beautiful description of the fruit street at night. The poet, with his remarkable use of imagery, has created an extraordinary scene out of nothing. He wants us to realize that our world is faced with the threat of disease, poverty, ignorance, injustice, cruelty, and on top of everything, there is a constant threat of an impending war. Then there is an explanation. In these lines, the poet describes the scene of the fruit street at night. The darkness has spread all over, creating a murky atmosphere. The dewdrops have started to fall. The only light available in the street is of a lantern, making the fruits shine brightly. The shopkeepers have placed the fruit in a conical way like pyramids. The fruits bear a close resemblance to cannonballs, a symbolism for the constant threat of an impending war which may erupt any time due to so many conflicts surrounding us. War is a permanent threat to our existence which can take millions of innocent lives. Well, gentlemen, you must have observed that I have placed the phrase cannonballs inside the inverted commas, and I have also given a symbolic meaning that cannonballs actually symbolize the threat of a lurking war or a looming war that may take place anytime, because we are all around surrounded by so many conflicts which could result in a war. And you know, war is a heinous crime against humanity, as it has done in the past. It has taken millions of innocent lives, and it is going to cause us a great catastrophe if it is not avoided. And this actually is the main idea of the poem as well. Well, gentlemen, now we have moved on to the next slide, which carries the explanation of extract number 2 of the poem. Because the reference and context are going to remain for the entire poem, therefore I have not written the reference and context here in this slide. You can use the reference and the context from the explanation of the first extract. We straight away move on to the explanation. In these lines, the poet highlights a serious issue of poverty. Dark children symbolize poor people of the society who do not have many resources to enjoy the luxuries of life. The poor children enter the fruit street with only a single coin in their hand to buy the fruit of their choice. When the light of the lantern strikes on the skin of the ripe fruit, it makes them shine like the moon and the sun. Despite limited resources, the poor children manage to enjoy their lighter moments of life. Dear students, this is the last slide of our today's lecture. It carries the explanation of the third extract of the poem. There is no need to repeat the reference and context, so let's straight away move on to the explanation. And this is the most important stanza or the extract of the poem. In these lines, the poet pays tribute to man's ability to find ways to enjoy the lighter moments of life even when there is so much misery all around. The poor children buy the fruit of their choice and break it open. Since the fruit is ripe, therefore a fountain of juice springs from within it and sticks to different body parts of the children, which start glowing as the light of the lantern strikes on their skin. The last two lines are the essence of the entire poem. The poet, being an experienced and well-informed person, realizes fully the gravity of the situation and consequently fails to enjoy the scene with the children. Unlike the poet, the children are innocent and do not have any knowledge of the situation, so they continue to enjoy the scene, forgetting the glum situation the world is faced with. And this was the explanation of the third stanza, third extract, and this happens to be the most important of them all. Dear students, all you have to do is to write these things down in your neat copies. They will serve the purpose of your notes, and you can use them at a time whenever there is a need. This concludes our lecture number 30. In our tomorrow's lecture, we are going to discuss the exercise of the poem and the short answers. Till then, I wish you all a very good luck. Take very good care of yourself and all your near ones. God bless you all. Allah Hafiz.